So, Trump's just kicked off Project 2025 with that pretty controversial tweet, and things are heating up.
Yep. Right. That tweet really set the tone. It's like he's embracing a very, very dictatorial approach, isn't it?
Absolutely. He's using this executive order, the so-called Schedule F, to reclassify civil servants, essentially prioritizing political loyalty over actual competence or expertise.
hmm It's almost like he wants to turn the federal workforce into, a collection of at-will workers rather than the nonpartisan professionals we expect.
Exactly. And that's a huge red flag. Instead of ensuring a system that values skill and expertise, it's based purely on loyalty. And that opens the door for a style of governance that's, well, almost
Right.
businesslike.
Now, some might argue that running government like a business could improve efficiency, but, and I really, really challenge that notion. The fundamental nature of government isn't profit driven.
Precisely. Think about it. A business exists to generate profit for its owners, while a government is supposed to safeguard constitutional rights and serve all
Yeah,
citizens
absolutely.
equally.
And you're saying that by reclassifying 50,000 federal employees under Schedule F, Trump is setting up a system where if they don't toe the line, they can be quickly fired?
That's right. Under this executive order, any government worker, especially those in policy roles, could be replaced if they don't, and this is key, if they don't advance the president's policy interests.
hmm It almost sounds like he's treating the entire civil service as disposable tools for pushing his agenda.
Exactly. And that brings us to another point, the reliance on loyalty over merit. He's replaced experienced lawyers with rather questionable figures like Rudy Giuliani and John Eastman.
Uh huh. I feel like that really undermines the integrity of our federal institutions. What do you think about that approach?
I totally agree. It's
Yeah.
like preferring a cheer squad to actually solving complex policy issues. This isn't just an organizational change, it's a fundamental shift in how government operates.
And isn't it true that this move is in many ways an extension of his broader vision of unitary executive theory, where the president has unchecked authority?
Exactly. It's the idea that the president should command every facet of the executive branch, and even in some ways, override other branches of government. It's like he wants to be the CEO of the entire country.
hmm But that's a fundamentally flawed model, right? I mean, comparing the US government to a corporation just ignores the checks and balances that, keep power in check.
Absolutely. A corporation's sole goal is profit, but our government is meant to uphold rights and laws for every citizen. This push for accountability by drastically firing skilled civil servants isn't really accountability, it's a
Right.
political purge.
And what about this idea that running the government like a business will somehow root out corruption? It seems more like a smokescreen for consolidating power.
Yes, right. The rhetoric suggests that by replacing experts, they'll improve performance. But in reality, it's about ensuring unwavering loyalty, even if it means sacrificing competence.
Exactly. And then there's the element of his past behavior that really ties into this, like defying court orders and pressuring figures such as Jerome Powell. How does that fit into this narrative?
It paints a picture of someone who is not willing to accept the limits of his power. The pressure on Powell, even though in theory he can't actually fire him, shows an intent to reshape the government structure to
Mhm.
suit his personal agenda.
So, in essence, we're looking at a scenario where Trump envisions the US as more of a single authority business rather than adhering to the checks and balances of a constitutional republic.
Yes, that's the concerning part. The notion that if a government is run by one person akin to a CEO, then traditional democratic safeguards vanish. And that really threatens the core principles of our political system.
Absolutely. And I remember him talking about rooting out corruption by pardoning supporters who, break the rules. It's like he's setting a precedent that, well, if you work for him, you're basically above the law.
Correct. When he talks about pardoning individuals, even those involved in significant controversies like January 6th, It really highlights how this could unravel decades of norms and accountability in government.
Right. But isn't it interesting how he leaves out groups like postal workers or TSA screeners? It's selectively targeting those whose roles fearlessly challenge his political directives.
Yeah, exactly. While a lot of positions are safe from this shift, the ones that are going to be hit hard are the legal advisors, economists, and environmental analysts, those key players who provide essential independent expertise.
Hmm. It's quite alarming. And what's your take on this business-like approach? I mean, there are executives like Elon Musk who are admired for their daring management styles, but can that ever truly work in a governmental context?
Well, that's the core of my critique. A business is designed around profit and efficiency, whereas government operations focus on public welfare and due process. This business analogy falls apart when you consider the ethical and structural differences between running a company and running a country.
Agreed. And as you noted earlier, even the logic of rooting out corruption seems like a convenient excuse for mass firings rather than a genuine effort to improve governance.
Exactly, it's more about centralizing control. And history shows that when unchecked power accumulates, then the very bedrock of democracy suffers.
Uh huh. So, wrapping this up, would you say that the implications of Project 2025 and the use of Schedule F are a significant shift away from a balanced system of governance?
Definitely, it's a paradigm shift that, if left unchecked, could potentially erode the nonpartisan foundation the federal workforce is built on.
Yes. And that in turn puts our democracy at risk because the independence of the civil service is a critical safeguard against authoritarian tendencies.
Right, exactly. It's like a slippery slope. The moment you allow the replacement of qualified experts with politically loyal but potentially less competent appointees, you're weakening the very mechanisms that ensure a fair government.
Hmm. It's really a cautionary tale about trying to run a government like a business, where the bottom line isn't the welfare of the people, but the consolidation of power.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so crucial to remain vigilant and critically assess these changes. Because at the end of the day, democracy is more than just management style. It's about upholding checks, balances, and protecting the rights of every
Right on.
citizen.
Well said. And here's hoping that at some point, competence truly prevails over sheer loyalty.
Amen to that. Thanks for diving into this with me. Always great to unpack these developments
Absolutely.
together.